Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Marco's Pizza card reveal for EMERGE36 Fearless, taking place September 8th, Parkside Elementary. My name is Casey Johnson. Alongside me, as always, A.W. Lurch and the illustrious commissioner himself, Chris Lowe. And guys, we are coming off of the back of, I think, one of the most important shows that Emerge has ever done. Yes. Throw that out there. So much went down at this last show, and we'll take you through the high points because there is a significant amount of fallout in this show. But the first thing we've got to talk about, it's got to be that street fight.
Oh, without a doubt. I didn't expect it to end up in the parking lot, and I certainly did not expect it. Okay, well, I thought it may go outside. Not on top of a truck.
I mean, wow. I mean, Donnie Idol got pile driven right on the hood of that truck. I don't know whose truck that was, but they were not happy.
I know who it is. They want their money. Ricky Ruckus.
Wow.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I will say, I remarked to you as the match was going on after that pile driver that I saw his neck shift when he hit the hood of that car. Luckily, we found out, checking on him after the match, that his neck shifting was him avoiding direct contact. Luckily, Donnie isn't seriously injured from that, although I will say, social media, whatever, around the Emerge offices have not really heard anything from Donnie, and aside from the truck thing, have not really heard much from Ricky.
Right. It's a lot of radio silence from those two.
That is something that I imagine we will have to follow over the next not the next few weeks. So for now, Emerge moves on, and in what a powerful way, Chris, it's moving on. I think about this show, Lurch, as a new beginning for Emerge in a lot of ways. We take a lot of pride in being the most professional, being the best out there, and we incrementally, for those trained fans, we improve stuff every show, but this is one of those rare instances when we are going to take a huge step forward very quickly.
Right, you're going to see a lot of updates. I mean, a lot of upgrades in the equipment. We've talked about them in the meeting in advance, and I mean, this is like kind of a new start, a fresh start to the cycle, if you will.
For sure. I will say, when you step into Parkside, immediately it's just going to be a different atmosphere. It's going to be a better atmosphere. It is something that on the production side we're scrambling to get together and throwing ideas out all the time, and it is going to be a significant uptick in the production quality and the production value, and it's all because of what you guys make possible.
Absolutely. And not to worry, the fantastic action you see each and every show, each and every event, it's still there, and it's only going to get better. But the overall production, the look of the Emerge events, second to none. And
the talent is going to be there. The action that you're familiar with is going to be there, but we also, I understand, the committee that you run that puts together the cards has taken a little bit of initiative and is making a focused effort to bring in some fresh faces to Emerge. Of course, we always do that, but over the next few months, and we'll get to that here in just a minute, you are going to see some people you've never seen before in Emerge, and I think that's healthy.
Yeah, we say it each and every month. We have so many guys and gals wanting an opportunity in Emerge. Well, your wish is being granted, you're going to get an opportunity for many of you.
And Emerge has more regulars than we
Yeah.
could even put on a card, but it's so important, Lurch, to find the next big thing. That an opportunity just like that is how Scotty Young made his way into Emerge, and look where we're at now.
Absolutely. I mean, Scotty Young is just a pure, perfect example of just a rising star, an example of excellence, and just what Emerge is all about. I mean, what a champion we have with Scotty Young. I mean,
Well, I want to get to something, and I'll be honest, Lurch and I are going to step back a little bit on this and let the commissioner take control, because for any of you who have been following Chris Lowe, back when he was just the voice of Emerge, he has had an idea now for 3 years.
Just about.
Probably, and he's been trying to make it happen, and it's all been about the right time to make it happen. And now the dream of Gambler's Gauntlet is finally being realized.
It's about timing. It's about risk versus reward. Coming up in October, the Gambler's Gauntlet. It's going to be a 5-man ladder match to ascend the ladder and grab a contract that guarantees you an Emerge Championship opportunity anytime over the next 1 year. Now, I know that sounds familiar, but we do things a bit different in Emerge. It's called a Gambler's Gauntlet for a reason. Whoever wins this contract, they can cash in at any time, but if they fail, they are out of Emerge for 90 days.
wow, 90 days from October 6th. That is a long time in the wrestling business.
And if you happen to be, I don't know, an Outbreak champion, if you happen to be a tag team champion, and then you cash in your opportunity and lose, not only are you out of Emerge for 90 days, you are stripped of your title. It's a real risk versus reward.
And with that, I think you're going to see a lot of desperation, let's say. Everybody trying to get to that. And the crazy thing is, you've got about 12, maybe 13 opportunities after you win that to truly cash in on it. And I think we're going to see whoever wins this, my personal prediction is we're going to see them hold on to that for a long, long time, because you got to pick that opportunity and you have got to hit it right on the head the first time.
So you're telling me if there's a champion in the match, an Outbreak champion, a tag team champion, they're going to lose their belt in that match if they don't win the ladder match?
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. I mean, that's action right there. I mean, that is gambling. That's...
Well, by the end of this card reveal tonight, let's see, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 qualifying matches for the Gambler's Gauntlet on this show. So come on September 8th, and by the time you leave, you will know who the 5 participants are for October the 6th. October the 6th is when this powerhouse of a ladder match is taking place, which brings us to the Powerhouse Brewing Facebook Live match, the first ladder match qualifier. And we'll get to those participants here in just a second, but before we go into any of the qualifying matches, I think we need to address something. The wheels have been turning on making this match happen for about 6 months now.
Right.
And a lot of the Emerge roster is trying to make their way into that match, including somebody who is not going to be able to be in that match. Some cameras were rolling backstage. Let's take this opportunity to go ahead and show you that footage and really see what the situation is with Cole Radrick.
Yo, I'm getting excited. I got an idea. Yo, guys, hey, help me out here.
What's up?
So, I know you guys get to see the match cards a little bit earlier than the fans do.
Uh-huh.
Help me out here. I've been asking around, who am I wrestling in the Emerge qualifier for the ladder match?
I wish I could tell you, but I haven't seen that card yet.
What about you?
I don't have no clue. Yeah.
Man, I saw it, but I don't think I saw your name on it.
What do you mean you didn't? Are you sure? Cole Radrick, 6 foot swole, big match Cole. I was in the last
And I hate to
year.
break it to you, but yeah, I don't think you're on the card.
Last year, I was in the Emerge match of the year. You realize that, right? Like, I'm kind of a big deal. I'm the ladder match guy here. No, I'm gonna be in one of this. See you guys at the next show, whatever. Next option. Hey, I know you're on the phone real quick, but help me out here.
Hang on a second. It's Cole Radrick.
Yeah, just Colt, 6 foot swole, you know, I'm taller than you. Help me out.
Doesn't take much.
And yeah, right. But seriously, like, I'm kind of the Emerge ladder match guy here, right? Like, you would agree with that.
Yeah.
I stole the show last year, match of the year, came up short for the Outbreak title, will never happen again. But I asked the refs, maybe they're incompetent, I don't know. I know you get the match listings early. Who am I wrestling? Just, I know you can come on. Do you have it in your notes?
Yeah, I got it in my
Messenger or
notes. Let me
something?
check.
Because I'm the guy here. Like,
I
love this company and I want that belt, but how can I not
Hang
be?
on,
You
here
know
it
what I
is.
mean? You got it? Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Why is that
I-
guy in it? Okay, whatever. I can beat him anyways.
I don't see your name here, Cole.
What do you?
I don't.
No.
I don't. It's not on there, Cole.
How is it not on there? I'm the guy.
I don't know. I'm not the one that complained to.
No, I'm going to the man. Over it. Chris, dude, you're the guy I'm looking for. Help me out here. Cool. I've asked the referees, I've asked Nikki, I know those are the guys and girl that get the matches first. I've been with Emerge for almost this beginning of my career. I love this place. You at least, man, I don't want to say you owe me something, but tell me where I'm at in this qualifying match. I've asked them, they don't know. Help me out here, dude.
Dude, you and I both know your head's not right, and I don't
When
mean.
has it been?
You know what I mean. You got injured. We're worried about concussions. I can't risk you getting out there and getting hurt, dude.
But I'm the ladder match guy here. I won the match of the year for that my ladder match. I tore my body apart for that ladder match. I tore my body apart for the Emerge fans. I love this place so much, and I just want the opportunity, Chris. I'm the guy here.
Cole, exactly. You tore your body apart, and now you're tearing that apart. I'm worried about you.
Don't be. I can do this. It's my match. I'm the guy here, dude. You and I both know I've been the guy that's been overlooked. This is my match. They want it. I want it. And I know you want it.
You know what? You're right. I want you in this match. But I'm not going to allow it. I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry.
I want you to think about it. Ratty dies in the end. But is it really worth it? It will be. Come on, man. I'm for this.
Well, Chris, that is the situation, and
Look, I understand what Cole Radrick is saying. Personally, as a fan, I would love to see Cole Radrick in this match.
I mean, Emerge 20, we were just
Yeah.
talking in one of our pre-production meetings about how good he was in that ladder match. I think everybody would like to see Cole Radrick in that ladder match.
Absolutely.
But
Myself included. But I went through this stuff with Donnie Idol. I'm not doing it again. I'm not letting a guy compete that's not cleared. Cole Radrick has got all the talent in the world, and he'll work his butt off. I have to look out for him because he's not going to look out for himself with this opportunity, eluding him.
And Lurch, that is unfortunately the case, but we have a responsibility.
Of course.
If he can bring me papers showing that he's been medically cleared, I'll reconsider. But until that time, it's not happening.
So if he can bring papers proving on October 6th he's cleared.
I will consider it.
Well, it's time to get to the qualifiers, folks. And one thing I find that is interesting is, with the exception of one, which is a very special case that we'll get to, all of these qualifier matches are matches that have meaning, and I have to tip my hat to you. One thing that we don't do in Emerge is arbitrary matches that are happening for no reason to qualify.
Too many indie feds just throw their matches together when the guys get there. We don't do that.
And these have all been carefully thought out, and starting with our Powerhouse Brewing Facebook Live match, Warfare Jeremy Hadley is taking on the returning Anthony Lee. And this is a very interesting match because, Lurch, if you remember correctly, Red, White, and Bruise Battle Royale, who dashed Hadley's championship hopes the first time, but Anthony Lee.
That's right. He tossed him right out of the ring, and he's going to toss him right on the way home. Anthony Lee is just going to annihilate Jeremy Hadley in this match. I don't think Warfare or Jeremy Hadley has a chance. Anthony Lee's going to. You saw what he did to him at the Battle Royal. Like you said. This.
But I've got to ask a question of you, Commissioner, and I want you, if possible, for a second, take off your commissioner's hat, put on your fan hat, try to look at this with a little bit of analysis. We've seen Anthony Lee several times in Emerge, and for whatever reason, he has never been able to dig in his heels. But do you get a feeling when you look at Anthony Lee that he is living up to his moniker of the lost cause, or is this a situation where you feel he deserves another shot?
Anthony Lee is the farthest thing from a lost cause. Lurch brought it up. His performance in that Battle Royal is what put him in this opportunity.
I seriously thought he was going to win that.
He finished second, didn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. He made it all the way there to the end. That's what I'm saying.
And he's a big dude that can move.
And he's got a lariat that will break your neck.
Stan Hansen-esque.
Well, we get then to Jeremy Hadley. Jeremy Hadley is another one of those wrestlers that has been trying to dig in his heels and figure out his footing since he lost the tag team championships. Actually, on the night that Cole Radrick was originally injured in that car accident. And he has set his sights firmly on the Emerge Championship. It just makes sense that he's going to be in this match. And remember, this match happens before the show officially begins. This is 20 minutes before 7 o'clock, which it'll say on the flyer, the show starts at 7, but the real show, and potentially one of the best matches of the night, is going to be at 6:40, and of course, Powerhouse Brewing Company making all of that possible. Without them, we could not add another match onto this already stacked card.
Absolutely. Powerhouse Brewing, thank you so much.
And in this match, Jeremy Hadley is a long shot to even make it into the Gambler's Gauntlet. That's my opinion.
Yeah, former Outbreak champion, former tag champion. The Emerge title's the one that's eluded him.
That is very true. Well, let's take a second to hear from Powerhouse Brewing Company. Of course, they are some of our most wonderful sponsors. And when we get back from break, Lurch, we are going to be talking about the first match, the opening match on this card for the Emerge Outbreak Championship. And we are going to have on the line the Outbreak Champion himself, Austin Fury.
Columbus Bar in downtown is your home for daily $3.50 Powerhouse beers and great food. Located at 322 4th Street, the CB is one of Indiana's oldest continually operating restaurants and bars, and Columbus, Indiana's first brewery since the Civil War. Powerhouse Brewing Company champions its friendly service and great prices. Call 812-375-8800. Check them out online at thecb.powerhousebrewingco.com.
As always, we thank Powerhouse Brewing for their support. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, on the line with us right now is the one, the only, Austin Fury. And Austin Fury, I have been meaning to ask you ever since the last show, what is the update on your Outbreak title situation?
Don't encourage him.
The update? The update? Are you kidding me? I am the Outbreak champion. I don't need to give you an update about something that I'm already the most important part of. Now listen, I want to thank everybody for giving me the vacation last month. I appreciate it.
Nobody gave you a vacation.
Vacation? You gave me a vacation. What are
you were supposed to be
talking about?
You were supposed to be.
No. Trust me. I had my guys talk to your guys. You said it was all clear. They said it was all clear. I'm good. Trust me.
Hey,
Now,
I like that
wanna
they
take a
added your
second.
name to the belt.
What the hell is
I
wrong
saw
with
that.
you?
I saw that. They added his name to the belt. That's incredible.
God's sakes.
Look at that.
Has always been on this belt because I'm the true Outbreak champion.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity, Chris, to announce match number 1 on the show proper for EMERGE36 Fearless.
For the Emerge Outbreak Championship, the real one, the greatest show on earth, Trevor Court faces champion, beautiful Brett Havoc.
That's not the real champion. I'm the real champion. I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys. You're witnessing it right now. Like, I have the belt. You see this? Do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, he has the belt, and it's important to note that the reason he had to take his vacation day last month was because he was too busy opening envelopes from all of his fans.
Exactly. I was cashing checks left and right. This guy gets it. He gets it. What's your name? What's your name?
My name's Casey.
Casey. Yeah, this guy gets it. See?
The Outbreak champion
One thing
just
that I
talked
want
to me.
Sherelle to know, Casey, that's it, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
You're all
one thing I
insane.
want you to know is that you're the man, and the rest of these punks don't get it. I am the Outbreak champion, and I always will be. Brett Havoc and Trevor Court, they could go, they could disappear, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. All that matters is Austin Fury.
So my question would be, whoever wins this match, are you willing to give them a shot?
Am I willing to give them a shot? I'll have to think on that one. Am I willing to give them a shot?
Who's he talking to?
No? Yeah? Should I? Okay. Yes. I'm willing to give them a shot, I guess. I spoke with my people over here, and they said that I should. So, whoever wins can face me one-on-one for my baby right here.
Well, that is Austin Fury joining us live, and it appears that whoever wins what I guess now is a #1 contendership match.
It's not a number one. Oh.
Hey, don't worry, Austin. If you lose your belt, we got some brand new Marco's pizza boxes right here for you to make a new one. So don't worry about it.
What are you talking about making a new one?
Well, the Cardboard Outbreak Championship. You know,
It's not
you got
cardboard.
you know,
This
what?
is real.
Okay.
And it looks very good.
Why are you encouraging this?
Oh my God.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to take this opportunity to hear from our biggest sponsor. They are the sponsor that's bringing you this show. We couldn't do it without them. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to hear from Marcos.
If you're in the mood for some great authentic Italian food at a fantastic price, try Marco's. Subs, wings, salads, and the best pizza around. 2 locations in Columbus at 2019 25th Street and 3532 West 2 Mile House Road. Along with daily hot deals, receive a free order of cheesy bread for signing up for Marco's E-Club. You can learn more at marcos.com. Marco's, the official pizza of Emerge.
Of course, thank you to Marco's Pizza for making this show possible. Thank you to Austin Fury for taking some time out of his busy schedule. I think he might have been in a meeting right when we called him.
I think he was talking to the voices in his head. Just my opinion.
His people.
His people, yes, indeed.
Well, let's circle back just very quickly to that match, because I think with the interview happening, we may or may not, with all of the craziness going on, slept on what could be a match of the night, what could be a match of the year. Trevor Court and Brett Havoc. That is going to be hard fought. It's going to open up the night. You guys need to show up right at 7 or you're going to miss a classic. Match number 2 is our second qualifier for Gambler's Gauntlet, and this one goes all the way back to February.
Yes, sir.
Back to TJ Kemp's first match in Emerge. We're going to have a rematch. Too Cool TJ Kemp versus the original American former Outbreak champion, Lennox Norris. One of these men moves on to the Gambler's Gauntlet.
And Lennox Norris, obviously, deserves this opportunity as a former.
Yeah, he deserves it. He should already be in it, Commish. Of course he deserves it. Lennox shouldn't have to qualify for anything. I mean, Lennox is the original American. I mean, what are you making him qualify to get into the Gambler's Gauntlet ladder match? I mean, he should be in the match. It's Lennox Norris.
You got to fight for your spot. And Too Cool TJ Kemp has certainly proved his worth in Emerge.
TJ's a noob. I mean, he is so new. I mean, come on. I mean, Lennox Norris has earned his spot. TJ just walked in the door. He's the one who should be in the qualifier, no doubt. TJ Kemp should be in the qualifier. Lennox Norris should be on the marquee. I mean, they should already announce that Lennox is in the match. I mean, why are they not doing that?
Lennox Norris's last 2 appearances in Emerge have ended in pinfall losses in the middle of the ring. Do you acknowledge the fact that those 2 results are his last 2 results?
Whatever.
Then I don't want to hear you during the next match. Because the next match is match number 3. The debuting Idle Hines takes on ATM Austin Tyler Morris.
Are you serious?
Here we go.
Why? Okay, now Austin Tyler Morris is in contention for the Gambler's Gauntlet in October, but Lennox Norris didn't even guaranteed a spot. I mean, why does ATM deserve an opportunity? I mean, even
he has won in Emerge more recently than Lennox.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. I'd have to go back into the history record books and check on that.
Well, ATM is one of those guys that is there every month, proving himself, tearing down the house. I think he just needs that one big win, and he's right back in title contention. This could be his win, and then the Gambler's Gauntlet could be that win. It's been said before, when you get a contract like this, many people have called themselves the uncrowned champion, which in this case you better be, or you're out for 90 days. Right. But ATM, Austin Tyler Morris, I think could be a favorite to win this whole thing. That being said, let's not overlook the debuting Idle Hines.
Smooth sailing for Idle Hines. I mean, what a path he's going through. ATM. I mean, you may as well consider him the next #1 contender. I mean, if Idle Hines makes it into the Gauntlet, Gambler's Gauntlet ladder match on October 6th, I mean, he's going to win it. He's going to crush whoever he's up against. I mean, I'm a fan of Idle Hines. Idle
Hines is mean. He is nasty. He's got a little bit of a history in ladder matches. I've seen him take Brett Havoc to the limit, in particular, in a ladder match before. And he knows what he's doing. And he's one of those guys that you're not going to get the moonsault off the ladder to the floor. You're going to get him using the ladder like a baseball bat, clearing his path to the championship. The only thing is, he's got to get through ATM before that happens.
And it's certainly not going to be smooth sailing for either man.
Yeah, and this is the one qualifier match that does not have any sort of a story or a pre-existing issue behind it, but I think that's the most beautiful thing about it. Both of these guys are hungry, they want their spot, and they're ready to go. Chris, what more could you ask for?
Not much. I mean, Idle Hines has proven himself in independence throughout, the area. And we were talking earlier about guys wanting a shot in Emerge. He deserves a shot, so let's see what he can do with it.
Yeah, but I mean, can we stop throwing out the ATM thing? I mean, the last event, I mean, the crowd behind me was yelling ATM so loud. I mean, my eardrums were busted by the end of that match. I mean, that was ridiculous. Please stop chanting stuff like that behind me, people.
I don't even know how to respond to that one.
I don't either.
Well, something. I got my segue here.
All right.
Something that else. I'm going to try a segue again because this is a live show and I can do it again. Something else that probably burst your eardrums that night had something to do with the Emerge Tag Team Championships. Of course, the new, that's right, new Tag Team Champions Have Mercy Percy Davis and Freddie Hudson are going to be defending for the first time. We will get to who they're defending against in a second, but we got to talk about what happened at the last show.
I mean, how are Davis and Hudson's even the champs? I could have sworn I was in the back when the Facebook Live match was going on, and I saw Freddie Hudson in the back. I could have sworn he wasn't out there.
What is one of, and Chris, you can take us behind the curtain here as to your decision making and a process where a moment you did not have time to check with any committees. You did not have time to sanction anything. You just had to run with it. One of the most bizarre situations I've ever seen unfold in wrestling, period.
Yeah.
Percy Davis beat Luke Lawson in a singles match for the tag team championships for he and Freddie Hudson.
And this wasn't a case of some one of the competitors just not showing up. This was scheduled to be a tag team match. It was Luke Lawson who pretty much said his partner and co-champion Mance Warner wasn't worthy of being alongside the sharpshooter?
The way I heard it, Luke Lawson said that he was using Mance Warner as a vehicle to get where he needed to be. Mance Warner never deserved to be there, and thus he was going to find somebody who was worthy of these championships. But we're in a situation you can't just let him do that. He's contractually obligated, which is a word that came up a couple times during the night.
Right.
He's contractually obligated to defend those titles. And, I mean, let's be honest, Percy was behind the curtain ready to get him some. Before you could even make the official announcement, I understand you told him, well, you'll get your singles match, and he ran out there before you could even get out there to announce anything.
Yeah, as soon as he heard he could go, he went.
And, of course, this situation has already been so personal between those two that in the heat of the moment, another stipulation was handed down on that match.
Loser leaves Emerge.
And so now, with one fell swoop, Percy and Freddie are your tag champs, and Luke Lawson is out of the company. His contract is terminated. He's gone. And I think this is an important moment to remind everybody the term pre-show match gets thrown around a lot, and in my opinion, it's a relatively derogative term.
Yeah.
This is not just a pre-show match. Some very important stuff happens. That's why you need to be there at 6:40. We're going to see somebody qualify for the Gambler's Gauntlet on September 8th. Who knows what we'll see October 6th, but several times, actually, the tag championships have changed hands in that pre-show match, and it's something that you can't miss, Lurch.
No doubt, and the crowd, the Emerge crowd knows it. They get there early. They're there packing the Emerge arena every event, and they, like you said, so much has happened in those matches.
Of course, I said, we'll talk about who they're defending against here in a second. Well, it is that time, and some familiar faces are returning to Emerge, and Christopher Icon will be ringside, running his mouth now, and Kenneth James Dave Davidson, the Hellfire Club, make their return trying to get their championships back. The Hellfire Club, I will say here, man, I don't agree with most of their tactics, but they have got a legitimate gripe. Dave Davidson went down with an injury. They had to think on their feet. They had to improvise. And that is exactly what they did. They put up a fight. They lasted another month. But, man, they ended up just not being able to take down Cole Radrick and Jeremy Hadley. Ended up losing those championships. But they both made their returns to Emerge in the Red, White, and Bruise Battle Royale. And the Hellfire Club dominated most of that match until Dave Davidson was eliminated by Charlie Cruel.
Yeah, a little rain patch was still there at that time, and you're right. But Christopher Icon is making his return. I mean, I could not be more excited about that, and he deserves to bring the Hellfire Club back to Tag Team Gold. I mean, he does.
I will say, Chris, it'll be interesting to see the Hellfire Club get the rematch or the shot that they never really had. I think if there's one tag team in Emerge history that really has a legitimate gripe and earned their place in this match, it's the Hellfire Club.
Without question. I mean, you mentioned it earlier, having to think on their feet when Davidson went down. Christopher Icon competed. And, you know, they lost the match, but they got out with their titles. So with Christopher Icon running the show, these guys are capable of anything.
Always have been, in my opinion, as long as they're there as a unit.
Yes.
They always will be. And this is Bruise versus Flash. I mean, Percy is, and Freddie, too, are all about getting the crowd up on their feet. And really, I mean, they're flashy wrestlers. There's nothing flashy about the Hellfire Club. One of the reasons they're named that.
Sure. I mean, Percy and Freddie, they're the freshest new tag team here in Emerge Wrestling, and you're right. I mean, going up against the Hellfire Club, it's going to be tough. I mean, I hope they don't get, lit up by the Hellfire Club is all I could say.
That could very well be the case. Either way, tag team championships on the line September 8th. We get to match number 5. Match number 5 is your second to last qualifier, and this one will come as no surprise to anybody.
Mark Vandy versus Picture Perfect Jordan Cage.
We're in a situation with these two gentlemen where they need a rubber match. Vandy's got one win. Jordan Cage has got one win. And there have been shenanigans in both of their wins. Now one of them is going to move on to the Gambler's Gauntlet. And whoever wins this match, Lurch, you got to say, I mean, they're trading wins here. Whoever wins this, they earn their spot in that match.
And we talked about the importance of the Facebook Live match. This feud started at the Facebook Live match.
Absolutely.
I mean, we saw Mark Vandy stick his nose where it didn't belong. Picture Perfect Jordan Cage was trying to, run a seminar, teach the new guys some stuff.
Run a seminar.
Well, yeah, I mean, as to how to be a perfect wrestler. I mean, he's not like Mark Vandy, who had to use a chair to win the match.
Mark Vandy didn't bring the chair in.
Jordan Cage brought that chair into the ring. You were sitting right...
Come on.
There's something wrong with your memory, man.
Whatever. What were we talking about? I mean, face...
Picture Perfect Jordan Cage had a main event run over the course of the last 6 months or so. Most certainly deserves a spot in this match outright. And Mark Vandy, well, all I've got to tell you is pile driver through a table. That's the only reason that I need to tell you that he deserves a spot in this match. But, Chris, that's the thing about it. There are so many people. I could name off probably 15 people who deserve a spot in this match. That's why we got to qualify it.
Absolutely. It just struck me, looking through these competitors, you got to wonder, there are 10 men here with the possibility of becoming Emerge champion. You got to wonder who's going to have the patience to choose their moment to strike should they win that contract. Does Jordan Cage have the patience to wait a year? I don't know.
I feel like we've seen some impulsive decisions in
Yeah.
the past from Jordan Cage interfering in that match, stealing Chris Caliber's Emerge title at the time, and I feel like that is a very good point. And that is going to be part of the psychology of holding this contract. You have got to pick the right moment. Our final qualifier match, number 6. And this one should come as no surprise to anybody either. This is something that has to be settled, and this is a situation where we've got to have a winner one way or another in a place where there wasn't one.
As Mikey faces Jeremy Travis.
And Mikey and Jeremy Travis were having a classic of a match at Emerge 35 that ended up being a really controversial double countout. Personally, and I don't know, I haven't talked to either of you about this, I feel like Mikey got in the ring before the 10 count. Either way, I mean, you were sitting right there, Lurch. It was a photo finish.
It was close.
I really don't know. But in this case, man, there's got to be a pin or there's got to be a submission, and the easiest way to do that is create a sense of urgency. Neither one of these guys are going to want a double disqualification or a disqualification or a double countout or a countout. You're going to want a decisive victory so that you know you're going on to the gauntlet in good shape. Mikey, of course, we know the deal on Mikey. Let's take a second. Jeremy Travis, very impressive in his debut.
Yeah, it looks like there might be some problems on campus with the big Margugliac with Jeremy Travis following him here to Emerge Wrestling. I mean, something's going on. There's something going on between those two. I mean,
and I think this last event was the first time I've actually seen Mikey legitimately thrown off.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
There is something here that I still don't think we know fully. Something is here between these two gentlemen. It was not quite the same Mikey.
Right. And both men, after the match, came to me and demanded a rematch. So,
I mean, the crowd wanted the match to be restarted, which I can't say I disagreed with, and I certainly could have put up with 5 more minutes of that, but you're getting something better. Right. You're getting a rematch, and you're getting a match where there will be a winner.
With
Mikey,
high stakes.
Jeremy Travis, one of these men goes on to the Gambler's Gauntlet ladder match. Now, let's take a second to talk about your main event situation. This is a unique one.
A bit. Scotty Young enters Emerge 36 fearless after successfully defending against Chris Caliber. I know Caliber is... he was surprised. A lot of the fans were. And as per the agreement before the start of the match, Caliber is in the back of the line for an Emerge title shot. That's why he's not in these qualifying matches for the Gambler's Gauntlet. But you're right. There is a lot going on in the Emerge title scene.
And what a match between Scotty Young and Chris Caliber at Emerge 35. And there was just one mistake. Caliber hit Scotty with the kill shot, and it did not work. And he hit him another time with the kill shot, and it did not work. And he went for that third one. And, Chris, we've seen the kill shot put away a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Caliber didn't go for the pin. He wanted to hit tribute on him. And Scotty caught it. And it's tough because I can't help but feel like if Chris Caliber had just gone for the pin just one more time, he would be champion right now.
And I think with Caliber, he wanted there to be no doubt that he was the top guy, is the top guy in Emerge, should be champion. And because of that, I think that's why he didn't pin him right away.
And Scotty Young has proven that he is the top guy here at Emerge Wrestling. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Be ready for the era of Scotty Young. You thought the show named after him forever was going to be the one and only moment? No. This is the era. I mean, Scotty Young is a pure champion, a winner, and excellent. I mean, he's so amazing. I don't see anybody beating Scotty Young.
Now, it should be noted that the official #1 contender for the Emerge Championship is Kyle Maverick. That being said, we are not entirely sure of his physical condition right now. Of course, tweaked his ankle, re-aggravated his foot injury the night before Emerge 35 training for his big shot. And now we kind of don't have a contender, so Scotty Young has taken this opportunity to issue an open challenge to anyone.
And he is fearless at that, is he not? I mean, that is beautiful. I mean, Scotty Young is a fearless champion right here in Emerge Wrestling, and they named the second show after him. Look at that. I mean,
that's a stretch. So there is one wrinkle in this open challenge, though.
Right.
Scotty Young, and this goes back to the whole back of the line, Scotty Young has issued an open challenge to anybody not named Chris Caliber.
It was the agreement. Chris Caliber agreed to those terms, and he stuck with it.
But other than that, anybody, correct?
Anybody.
He's still fearless then. He's still fearless, see.
Well, you got to wonder who's going to accept that. I mean, we have had some high-profile stars in Emerge. There have been a lot of people in Emerge that we have not seen for a long, long time. And with an open challenge like this, I'll be surprised if there aren't 5 or 6 guys behind the curtain fighting it out to see who gets to answer the open challenge.
Right. It's going to be a race to the curtain.
I will say this, though. Whatever man accepts this open challenge has his work cut out for him. And it is really, really hard to argue that. But either way, Scotty Young will be defending the title on this amazing card that we have put together, Chris. This is
one of the shows I've been most excited about. Again, this is something I've wanted for years, and as soon as I got into the position of the commissionership, something I worked on immediately. It's taken a lot of time. I think the fans are going to be very pleasantly surprised.
And keep in mind here, and I'm going to read off these matches in a different order than we did them, but keep in mind your qualifiers. Hadley faces Anthony Lee. Lennox Norris faces TJ Kemp. Idle Hines faces ATM, Mark Vandy and Jordan Cage, and Mikey and Jeremy Travis. One man from each of these matches is going to be moving forward to the Gambler's Gauntlet. And one of those men will be your new de facto #1 contender. By the time that you leave Parkside Elementary on the evening of September 8th, you will know the 5 entrants in the biggest ladder match Emerge has ever had. Not only that, 3 different championships are going to be defended. The Greatest Show on Earth, Trevor Court, takes on beautiful Brett Havoc. Of course, the tag team championships will be on the line. The Hellfire Club finally get their rematch and go up against Percy Davis and Freddie Hudson. And in an open challenge to anybody except Chris Caliber, Scotty Young defends his Emerge championship. That's a lot of wrestling for one night.
Absolutely, and you only see that type of action at Emerge Wrestling. I mean, unbelievable lineup we've got.
And all of that happens September the 8th. Parkside Elementary, the Emerge arena. Doors are going to open at 6, and the show is going to kick off at 6:40 with our Powerhouse Brewing Facebook Live match, which is going to be one of the qualifiers, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And one thing I love about this is that every match on this card means something. Everybody is risking something to be there. And so really, to even be in qualifiers, to be going up for a championship, no matter what's happening on this show, each and every single one of these guys are fearless. My name is Casey Johnson. We'll see you guys next month.